There's a new effort to help students from the Boston area meet their needs for housing. To tell us about the new partnership between Roxbury Community College and the Metropolitan Boston Housing Partnership are from RCC, the director of Single Stop, Lisa Carter, and from the partnership, the co-location coordinator, Zeke Russell. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you.
I want to start with Lisa Carter. Students at RCC, we're not talking about a bunch of 19-year-olders in a three-decker. Talk about the student body and their challenges.
Well, at RCC, the majority of our students are adults with families, and so with families, they have housing challenges. A lot of our students are either couch surfing, some of them, or they're living with family. They're immigrant students in some cases, and they're oversized with small space, large families, and so they need adequate housing. They have employment where they're not making a lot of money. They need more space, and so it's just, the need is great. And so it's something that I hear about a lot. The students just, they can't afford the housing that they have, and so it's just a tough situation all the way around.
Zeke Russell, you can't make the market act much differently, but other than that, how can you help students like this that Lisa's talking about?
Well, I think that people are mostly looking for affordable housing, either moderate income or low income subsidies, and that those are very labyrinthine and difficult to navigate. And that what we at the Housing and Consumer Education Center at MBHP do is to serve as that guide. And so by reaching out and working with Single Stop USA, we can provide that guidance and advice. I mean, I personally have about 6 years helping people apply for, find, and keep affordable housing. And so I know a lot of the lingo and the ins and outs, and I can serve as that kind of, that guide through that difficult information.
Lisa, one difference between your students and many students in four-year college is that they might have children. Finding a place when you've got kids, that's no easy thing to do.
That's the tricky part.
Yes.
If you are in a dorm, you don't have to worry, but if you have families and you have issues where there's a lead paint situation, it gets really hard to navigate. And it's really a tough call. And so affordable housing, it can be a daunting task. It really is, and it's something that we just, you know, four-year college students, they don't have to, you know, they don't have to have those concerns. And we're a commuter school. We don't have dorms. And so all of our students are coming to us, you know, and they're traveling to get to us. And so they're going home at the end of the day. And going home means hopefully to a home. And for a lot of our students, that's where the problem lies. They either don't have adequate housing or they struggle to maintain the housing that they do have.
You know, we've reached a point where you might have someone who grew up in Roxbury or Dorchester finding out that they're better off commuting to your college from Malden, maybe. Could that happen?
It's very true, because they get outpriced here in the city. And the further out they go, we've seen it. Students can travel as far as Waltham, and they'll commute sometimes 2 hours to get to campus because they just can't afford the rents in the city anymore. They're being outpriced, and so they find they have to travel further and further to be able to afford the rent. And then it's the market rents that's driving them outside the city.
So what about some of the information you can provide students? Because there might be some people who maybe they're close to the border of qualifying for some kind of housing supports. Can you help them figure that out too?
I can, and because each case is individual and different, it's hard to say, you know, here are 3 things every person could do. But I think that's what we at the Housing Consumer Education Center bring, is that kind of programmatic knowledge. Most people, when they come to me, say, I've applied for Section 8, and those are very long lists, but it's also the only thing they know. It's the only thing they've heard of. And there are a multitude of other programs with shorter lists, with wider ranges of income qualifications that we can help people find and qualify for. We work with a number of market rent landlords who have more reasonable rates. And so we have those contacts. We have programs like the RAFT program, residential assistance for families in transition, which can help families who are facing a housing crisis either maintain their housing or find new stable housing. So sometimes people have the affordable apartment lined up, but they don't have the upfront costs. They're staying with family, they're doubled up, it's an unsustainable situation, they can't stay there, and that's where a program like RAFT can sometimes help.
Lisa, you have an event coming up on Monday at the college. Tell us about what
Oh,
you've
we're
got
real
planned.
excited about that because it's the kickoff to our partnership. And so this is a way to welcome MBHP to RCC and let the students know that we've partnered with MBHP. We want them to know all about the services that they provide. Let them know that they can get answers to their questions at the event, and then know that the long-range plan is to have MBHP come on campus and meet them with appointments to then discuss their own individual situations right there on campus. So we've brought that resource to campus. So they don't have to, we encourage them, because it's not going to work for everyone in terms of timing, but we want to encourage them to come on campus and then make the appointments and sit down, have the opportunity while they're on campus to meet one-on-one to discuss their own individual housing situation and get the help right there.
Zeke, even if a student can't get some kind of a subsidy, it seems you're enormously helpful because they're not going to be searching at random and not knowing which way to turn.
Yeah, and I think that's what we at MBHP do with all of our community partners that we reach out to. And we're excited to start doing that at RCC and be able to help people navigate what is a very difficult and stressful part of life, which is finding affordable housing, particularly when you are almost certainly working part or full-time, raising children, and continuing your education.
Right. Lisa, I know you're going to be broadcasting this at RCC itself, but for any student there who needs help, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me. I'm in the administration building on the first floor, room 101, and they can call me. My office number 933-7459, 617 area code, or they can contact me through email, lcarter@rcc.mass.edu. That's the best way.
And Zeke, I know you serve anybody in the metropolitan area here, so what should they do if they want to get in touch?
I think they should go to mbhp.org and they should get a list of our co-locations as well as our home base at 125 Lincoln Street, information on our resource line and how to contact us with general questions for help with housing search or for help with assistance programs such as RAFT.
Thank you both very much, Zeke Russell and
Thank you.
Lisa Carter.
Thank you.
We'll have more news in just a moment.